Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about the topic non-malicious programming errors. So this topic comes under the subject Introduction to Computer Security. So in this session, we are going to discuss about what is a non-malicious programming error, what are all its types and what impact it can create when it occurs in a programming environment. First, let us discuss what is non-malicious programming errors. It refers to issues or bugs that arises from a programming mistake or unexpected errors or whenever the limitations of the system can create any issues. So this type of errors we are calling it as a non-malicious programming errors. It is not intentional. So what do you mean by intentional? We have a lot of cyber attacks. So cyber attacks are intentional, or else there will be some people who will be intruding in our network or intruding in our system, and they deliberately want to do some damage. So this type of errors is not that kind of a type. It is not intentional, but it results often poor programming practice. Okay, so it can create it can be created through programming mistakes or unexpected behavior of the environment or the system, or else it can be due to the limitations of the system. Okay, so even though it looks like it is not very harmful, but it can affect the security of the system. At the same time, user experiences may have some flaws and it can affect the performance of the system also. Okay, so even though it is not intentional, we have to make sure that this error is not occurring so that our performance, our experience and other challenges may be properly secured. Okay, so now let us discuss what are the types of non-malicious programming errors. So here we are going to discuss the 5 main types. First one is the logical errors, second one is the syntax error, third one is the runtime error, fourth one is the resource leak, and fifth one is concurrency issues. So first let us discuss about logic errors. So what is logic errors? So logic errors are created during the programs whenever we are making some flaws. Okay, for example, whenever we have some result to be calculated, we have some formulas. So what if we write the formula itself in a wrong manner? Okay, so because the formula is a wrong formula, whatever results it is getting created, it is going to be a wrong result only. So that type of scenario we are calling it as the logical errors. Okay, a program will be broken down into subroutines, okay, subprograms. So we will be doing the first subprogram. The result of first subprogram will be the input for second subprogram. So what if we are directly going to second subprogram? Okay, so whenever we are solving a complex problem or a problem, we need to follow some logic to solve the problem. If the logic is itself incorrect, so whatever the results it may produce, it will be a wrong result only. Okay, so that type of errors are called logical errors. Even though you may get a result, it will not be the expected result or it will not be the correct result. Second one is the syntax errors. So as a computer science student, so we will be writing a lot of programming, learning programming languages, and we will be writing a lot of programs. So if you are making some logical errors, that is, each programming language will be having its own syntax, how to write and the way to write. Okay, for example, if you take C++, C programming, we have to put semicolon at the end of the statement. If you are missing semicolon, it will be an error. Okay, so if you are not following the proper syntactic rules, okay, so you may result in syntax errors, which will be we can find it using compilation time and you can correct it. Okay, so these type of errors are called syntax errors. Next comes the runtime errors, which occurs during runtime. Okay, so it is not found during the compilation time. You will be finding in the runtime. So syntax will be correct. Okay, but the system will be unable to process. Like divide by zero error, or you are going to access an array element which is not at all existing. Okay, so this type of errors we are calling it as the runtime errors. Fourth one is the resource leak. So resource leak is a scenario where the program occupies a resource. The resource may be a printer, or resource may be some space, or the resource may be some other entities. Okay, once the program is finishing its execution, it has to release the resource used by that particular program. If the program is not releasing the resource, okay, then we may result in resource leaks. Okay, so you might have heard about automatic garbage collection. So what do you mean by garbage collection? Memory used by the program or released. Okay, so if it is not released, that memory will be unused. It will not be used for further processing. So this type is called as resource leaks. Next one comes the concurrency issues. So these issues will be occurring whenever we are using in a multiple programming environment or in a multi-threaded program. Okay, so here two programmings may use some common entities or common resources. So in operating system you might have learned about deadlocks. Okay, so where the resource is occupied by the one resource, it is not going to complete, but the same resource another program is needing, and it is has to keep on waiting for a long time. We are calling it as the starvation issue. Okay, so in the multi-programming environment, it is very important that we are keeping the resources as free as possible so that it is available to all processes. Okay, so all these 5 types majorly are classified into the non-malicious programming errors. So what if these errors occurs, it may bring security issues, or else it may bring performance issues. The performance of the system will go down. Okay, next one is the user experiences will be not good. Okay, so the user experience is not good, then the user is not satisfied. Next one is the system stability. In many cases, due to this error, sometimes the system may go off. Okay, the system may shut down or the system may restart. So in that cases, it may affect the performance of the system. So in this class, we have discussed about what is non-malicious programming errors, types of non-malicious programming errors, and what kind of impact it can create when such errors occur. Okay, so I hope you understood. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.